For 2 years as the DeKalb County State's Attorney, from 2010 to 2012, I was personally responsible for this prosecution and working with law enforcement to prepare this case for trial. And we had been prepared for trial for quite some time, and when I lost the election last fall, obviously a new state's attorney took over. I'm deeply saddened today by the plea that was entered, the agreement that was made by the state's attorney's office and Mr. Curl's attorneys. 2 years ago, when I met Antinette Keller's parents, I made a personal commitment to them that I would seek the maximum punishment allowable under the law for this horrendous crime. I think any time a college freshman, a beautiful girl like Antinette Keller, is raped, murdered, and incinerated, that has to be a crime that's punishable by as much time as law allows. And the fact that Mr. Schmack's office decided not to honor that commitment that I made to the family personally saddens me, and I want to express my condolences to the Keller family and express to them how deeply sorry I am about this outcome. I think that it's outrageous to know that at some point in time in the future, Mr. Curl has the opportunity to complete his prison term and actually be a free man again. And I think it's particularly outrageous that he's able to stand before the court and enter an Alfred plea, which is essentially maintaining his innocence, but agreeing if the case goes to trial, the state could prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. I think if you are going to decide to agree to give him a 37-year prison term and agree to a sentence that will allow him to be a free man again, at a minimum, he should have been required to stand before the court and admit to his guilt in this horrendous crime. I've been practicing criminal law for almost 22 years, and this is the most vile, despicable crime that I've ever seen. And I wanted today to come here to bear witness to this agreement that was made before the court, and again to speak on behalf of the citizens, the hundreds of citizens that have contacted me since this plea was roughly, the rumor came I think Monday. There's an outraged part of this community, and I'm deeply sorry that this outcome couldn't have been more just than it was.
Have you talked to Toni's mom?
I've only through Facebook, I exchanged a couple of messages with her. I haven't talked to her recently. I was hoping that they would appear today again so I could apologize to them and express my condolences, because I think that the fact that they're not here today maybe speaks volumes about what occurred here. But again, I haven't spoken to them personally.
I am not going to make any comment whatsoever on what Clay Campbell might decide to say on the courthouse lawn. I had plenty of things to say about what Clay Campbell says on the courthouse lawn when I was running for state's attorney. I'm not going to make any comments now about what he might say on the courthouse lawn. I do wish that he had called me when he read, which were clearly inaccurate statements about the potential plea. If he had something he wanted to say as the former state's attorney, he could have said it to me. He could have said it to Phil, he could have said it to Stephanie. They worked with him on this case. He worked with the victims. He had much more contact with the family, with the Keller family. He had much more contact with them over the time that he was state's attorney. I wish he had called us when he heard about it. I wish he had called us earlier.
He didn't talk to you before today?
No. He hasn't said anything to me since the election other than "Hello, Rich," to which I respond, "Hello, Clay." Sometimes I say hello first.
Do you feel justice was served in this case?
I do indeed.